pretty late today because light is also not supporting here, but somehow we managed. So let's start. It is on the thumbnail. You could see already that what topic we are going to cover. Yesterday we discussed about adjectives, though at the beginning we discussed only 3-4 types and quality, number of adjective. These were skipped, but at the end of the live stream, I discussed in the questions which we did, practice questions. So there I covered. Right. So one of the very important topic we are covering today, which is coming in your half yearly exam, right? Beta, good morning. It is. Is it good morning? Again, you are in the fun mode. So let's discuss about what is determinants. Lalu London, beta. Instead of saying sorry, send me a definition of determinants. Okay, beta. Prakhar, am I audible to you? Sorry, Pratap also joined me. Very good evening, beta. Tarun Kapoor, basketball. Hi, ma'am. Hello, beta. Thank you for joining. Could you introduce yourself? I think first time you joined my live stream. So, Prakhar, I didn't get your reply, so I am myself going to cover it up quickly. Determiners are those words which come before the noun phrase, right? So, what is the difference between adjective and determiners? Anybody can tell? What is difference between adjective and determiners? Let me check your previous knowledge. Anybody has any bit idea regarding this? What is the exact difference between adjective and determiners? Beta, be interactive. Participants, those who are joining me, please be interactive. Then only the live stream would be fruitful and successful, right? Again, I didn't get ma'am, I'm Kushagra. Okay, beta Kusha, whosoever you are, either Prakhar or Kushagra, but just answer my question. That what is the difference between adjective and determiners? Okay, let me start. I'm not getting any of the genuine reply, so I'm going to continue with the topic. Determiners are those words which come before the noun phrase, so always keep it in your mind. It means it will fix. Noun phrase why means phrases are the group of words which cannot have any complete sense, right? And right, so it determines determines or limits or fix or mark the noun, right? So therefore determiners is a word which limits, fixes the meaning of the noun, right? Now then, how's it is different from the adjective? In adjective, it can describe noun as well as pronoun, right? You must be knowing. But in case of determiners, it only determines noun, no other part of speeches. We have 8 part of speeches, and determiners only determines, only limits, only fixes noun, right? So keep it, always keep it in your mind, this thing, right? So after that, we are taking to example, Mason builds his house, right? And my brother gave me a diary, right? So in first of the sentence, his house, it's a possessive determiners, right? his house it is talking about, right? So it is determined. It determines about the mason. That particular mason is made that house, made by that particular mason, right? So no other. So you should understand this thing. It means something which is determined, means it is fixing to the particular person or thing, right? Similarly, my brother gave me a diary. In this particular, my is a possessive, my brother, possessive determiners, and a diary. A diary means that one particular which his brother gave him, right? So a diary. A is, we know that articles are the very first and foremost important determiners, right? In the kinds, when we study about kinds, so determiners comes always first, right? This is the most important determiners, right? So now we are switching to the kinds of determiners. First one is articles, in which we can divide into two parts: definite articles and indefinite, right? Definite will be the, indefinite will be a and an, right? So we know the rule. The is to specify something. All the specific thing consists of the superlative degrees, important polybogs, important cities, important mountains, important rivers, some the countries which are having, which name is consist of abbreviations, and along with the news name of reputed newspapers, right? So like that, you need to make a proper list and prepare it accordingly. You need to understand one thing, that it specifies something, right? To tell any specific thing, we use the, and that's why it is called definite article, right? A or an is called as the indefinite article, right? Then possessive determinants. In possessive, my, our, your, his, her, its, and there will come, right? So these type of words where it will come just preceded by noun, right? Preceded by noun, like my house, my room, my this thing, my book, my laptop, sort of. Our, your laptop, his. So in that case, if the next word is, immediate next word is noun and it is placed before, then that will be possessive determinants, right? And demonstratives. It totally depends on the sentence formation, right? It is treated as adjective also, right? If the immediate word is noun, that it can be called as, right? But you need to understand one difference, that if we are talking about determiners, it will specifically stick to the nouns. But once we are talking about adjective, then it can be described. It can tell about noun as well as pronoun, right? It describes the quality of. Okay, so these are the two differences. Always keep it in your mind. Then switch to the demonstrative determiners. In demonstratives, wherever, whether it is demonstrative pronoun, demonstrative adjective, demonstrative determiners, everywhere these words will come: these, this, that, these, those, right? These four will be visible in the sentence, right? So this, that, as I told you, it will show the singular and at the distance. If something is near, then this will be used. If it is at the distance, then far will be used, right? And these, those, they talk about the plural things, and these for the near one, and for the far and plural, those is used, right? Next is distributives determiners. For that, each, every, either, neither, right? So distribution, just think about it. If we talk about this something to distribute, so for that, what we usually, each member, each student, everybody, every student, every teacher, every people, like that we talk. So it means, just keep it in your mind, if we are talking about distributives, then we are talking about something, some sort of thing is distributing among, right? So that way you can understand better, that what are the distributives, and these examples should be uh, kept in your mind while understanding the distributives. Each, every, either, neither, right? Next is quantifiers are also very important. Apart from articles, this one is very, very much in use in determiners. Some, what are the words will come in this type of determiners? Some, any, much, no, little, enough, lot of, lots of, some of, plenty of, right? So this way you can understand that quantifiers will come in that. Quantifiers can be used for uncountable also and countable also, right? So next is expressions of determiners, right? So what it is? In expression, many, several, some, any, no, few, enough, another, a number of, a lot of, many of, one, two, etc. All these will come in the expressions, right? And the last but not the least, that is interrogative. What, which, whose, it means what question word will come, right? What, uniform, which dress, which boy, whose room, whose house, that sort, right? These would be the example of interrogative determiners, right, beta? Now let's talk about quickly that where the indefinite articles and what are the uses. Indefinite articles, as I told you, that a or an will come. A banana, an apple, a man, a typewriter. These are the examples. And is generally used with words beginning with a vowel sound. You have to keep it in your mind while using a or an. An is with vowel sound and a is with consonant sound. Only this difference you need to keep it in your mind. You need to understand how to identify the vowel sound and the consonant sound. Sometimes it looks pretty confusing. So in that case, people get confused, like European. We have to European. So most of the time, children they write an European, right? U is there. Sound is U, and U is a consonant sound, right? So instead of an European, a European is there, right? Same way, one-eyed, a one-eyed man is there. Sound is O-N-E, but pronunciation is one-eyed. Y is there, okay? And Y is consonant sound. So a one-eyed instead of an, a one-eyed man, right? And hour is there. It starts with H consonant, but its sound is O, and hour, ah. Okay, so sound is vowel sound, so that's why an R is there, right? And honest, eulogy, right? So these are the few words where people get confused. So don't get. Now let's discuss about definite article the. I met a teacher. The teacher told me a story. So this is very important uses of the article. If you are talking about, just take one paragraph and you begin with some sort of subject, right? And once you begin, at that time it will be start with a, and the moment you will forward it with the next or next to next paragraph lines, then there, instead of it will change into the, right? I met a teacher. The teacher told me a story. The story, now story is introduced, told me a story, and the story was like that. So initially we introduced a teacher. A teacher is in the next line changing to the teacher. Then the teacher introduced a story, and in the next line, it starts with the story, right? So you need to understand, if we are introducing something at that time, it can be a or an, but in the next statement, once you are familiar with that particular subject, In that condition, you will start writing the for that particular, right? So the is used for the particular person, place, or thing, like the girl who was stopped the college, right? If you are specifying somebody, then in that case it should be along with the, right? Next is, it is used when a person, place, thing has already been mentioned. I sold my house, the house. It is the same what we already talked in the first rule. It is used to denote the whole class, the community. The police coordinate the whole area, right? So we are introducing one particular community, that is the police we are talking about. So that's why it is mentioned the. And try to recall and revise once again that we know the sound of the will be the when it is before the consonant sound of word, and it will be the if the next word is starts with vowel sound, right? So that's why I said the police, because p is there, pa is there. Okay, police is a starts with consonant, so that's why the sound of the is the here. Otherwise it would be the if the word starts with vowel, right? So the police, the area, right? In the same sentence, the police, the area, right? So the area is a vowel sound, so that's why here sound is the, right? After that, it is used when a family name is used to refer to the whole family. The Auroras have shifted to Mumbai, right? Now it is referring to the family, one whole family. So that's why it is mentioned as the Aurora family. Sound, always remember, Aurora is there, a sound, vowel sound is there. It is used before the names of unique things like the planet, the earth, the solar system, the sky, right? So that way, unique things, which is one particular, right? That is used before the name of countries, states, oceans, mountains, rivers, etc. The Andaman Nicobar Islands, the Indian Ocean, the Himalayas, the Nile River, the Ganges, all that, right? So next is, it is used as a part of a phrase formed by the using comparative degree, higher the pressure on balloon, higher the pressure on balloon, right? So they are telling that the comparative degree, it is also used with comparative degree as well, right? So the lower will be the volume, right? So again, the is used for using comparative degree, right? It is used before adjectives used as nouns, the rich, the sick, the poor, that sort. Okay, so adjective nouns along with. And next uses, it is used before the names of organization, corporation, magazines, newspaper, the Haryana Roadways, the Times of India, the Indian Railways, right? So this way you need to understand that where the will be used. So n number of rules are there one by one. We need to it will just come by practice. As much as you will be in the frequent use, whatever you learn, just try to implement in your day-to-day life, in your communication, so that it will be revised, and then only it will be memorized long last, right? Retained in your memory, right? So next is, we studied about that it is used with the name of organization, corporation, magazines, and newspapers. And it is used with, as I already told you, even it is used with the names of the sacred books, holy books, that is the Bhagavad Gita, the Ramayana, the Quran, the Guru Granth Sahib, etc., right? It is used for the names of the trains, aeroplane, companies, ships, etc., the Jet Airways, the Jan Satabdi, the Garib Rath Express, etc., right? So this way we have covered the uses of a, and the as well, the as well. Now let's talk about demonstratives. Though we have already discussed along with the examples, let's discuss few examples along with the demonstratives. This pen is mine and that book is hers. So this and that both are. Please don't stop. This pen is mine and that pen is hers or yours, right? So this is also determiner and that is also determiner, right? These persons are intelligent, right? So these is a determiner here, demonstrative, and those boys play very well, right? So those are the demonstrative determiners here, right? After that, we are going to talk about and discuss about few questions related with after demonstrative possessives are given. So as I told you, if we are talking about possessives, then it will be just the first word, next word will be the noun, and it will be preceded by noun, right? So my pen, our elders, one's duty, my father, right? So all these are possessive determinants, right? Next is my books are kept in my bag. So my is there. Our teacher has arrived in the class. Our is there. Their award function will be held today. So there is, right? And her sister walks with her. Her is there, right? Next, we are talking about use of some determiners. Each and every. Each and every both are singular countable nouns, both takes, right? Each student and every student, right? So the next word will, right? Next noun will be always in the singular form, right? So each and every, they will always with singular countable noun, right? So every is used when number is indefinite, right? When the number is not confirmed. Each is used when the number is in group and it is limited. So each can be used with the limited people and definite people, which can be counted, and every can be used with indefinite. They are in indefinite numbers, right? So every citizen likewise, right? So each chair has painted. Every of the chair is painted, right? Each chair is there, and every of the chairs, right? Each student is there. Every student was present in the morning assembly, right? In morning assembly, they have mentioned here it's conveying referring a large group, so that's why they mention every with that. Then the confusing little, a little, the little. Always keep it in your mind. If you're talking about little, then you are referring something which is very negligible in quantity, right? And it's somewhere hardly any we are talking about. And once you're talking about a little, it means there are some. It is in a positive sense, and it is some in quantity, right? And the little means not much, but all, right? It is used for the uncountable nouns, but the little. Suppose I say I'm giving you one example. Uh, there is the little water. There is the little water in the bottle. It needs to fill, right? So it means there is almost no water. Only few drops are there, and it needs to fill, right? The whole you are talking about. He has, let's take the example, negligible, where it is the sense is negligible. He has little patience, right? Means negative sense. He has little patience, right? He has a little money, means some money is there, and the little information she had was quite useful. Okay, means whatever the information she has, that is little, but all is useful, right? So that way, here it is talking about the whole, the little information, right? But it is talking about the whole and in a positive sense. right? With the similarly, a few, the few, right? Uses of this, but one thing is different, that that one, the little, a little, the little was used for uncountables, and this few, a few, the few will be for countable nouns, right? So few means almost, or almost none, or hardly any, and it is always you speak or write in a negative sense. A few, when we are talking about a few, means at least some, and though not many but some, right? And the few means all of them, though very few, right? So few men are free from faults, so almost none, because we know that every people have faults, they do mistakes, so that's why almost none, and that's why it is mentioned few men free from faults, right? Next one is Jaman is also there. Very good evening, Peter. Thank you for joining. Next is a few, right? A few people visited him, means some, not many, but some, a few, right? After that, the few friends means the few friends I have are all highly educated. I have limited friends. I'm talking about the whole of my friends. They are very limited, but they all are highly educated, right? So that way you need to understand when it is talking about the whole, when it is talking about some, and when it is talking about none, right? That way you need to use few, a few, the few, right? These are the confusing determinants, so you need to understand the concept behind how to deal with, right? Much, many. Much means a large quantity, and it is generally used before the uncountable noun. As its name refers, much means which are the things which can be measurable, right? So it is used with uncountable. Much is used with uncountable. Many is used with countable nouns, right? Many books, like that. So books can be counted, right? So that way. Now let's see few examples. He faced so much difficulty in his childhood, right? So difficulty cannot be counted. It is an abstract noun, right? So that's why it is uncountable now. How much is used here? How much time? Time is also not measurable, though if you're talking about hours and minutes, then it can be counted. Time cannot be counted, right? There isn't much work left, right? Again, much work cannot be counted. How many questions? Question can be counted, so that's why many is used here. They are not many visitors, right? Visitors can also be counted, right? So that's why many is used here. Next determiner is some or any. Some is used with affirmative sentences with uncountable, plural, countable nouns, right? Can refer both quantity and number, right? So now they are saying some can be used with quantity also, and some can be used with countable. Quantity means what? Countable and uncountables, right? So here, see the examples, how they can be differ from. Please give me some time. Time is uncountable, and some time is there. So some can be used with uncountable nouns sometimes, and it can be please give me some books. So it can be used with some for the countable noun. So it totally depends on the situation, right? Any is generally used in negative or in interrogative sentences. It can also be used in affirmative sentences, right? Any, they are saying it is almost in the negative sense. I don't have any book, right? I have. Do you have any book, right? That way. So it says negative sense. Any book we are talking about, right? Instead of saying don't have, do you have any book, right? This way. So it is telling that it makes a negative senses as well as interrogative as well. So let's see the example. He did not find any comfort, right? And so negative sense is there. Then they have not bought any fruits, right? For the countables also. Have you any wool? Have you any wool? There is question for. any wood, right? And you can call me anytime for help. Some is used in the questions which are really commands, or for the request which expects the answer in positive, right? It means it is talking about interrogative sentence which answer can be some. So there you can use any in the interrogative sentence, right? For example, also they have given, will you have some tea? So the answer would be, there is a request and will you please lend me some money? Or like that. For offer and for request, some can be used. Either and neither. Both take singular countable nouns. Either has two different meanings. Any one of the two, either of you is defaulter. Each of the two, both, you can't favor either side of the dispute. Neither is opposite of either. It means neither the other. Neither proposal is acceptable. Neither of you will get the prize. Right? So it is talking about either. Either we are talking about, neither is the opposite of either, they are saying. Either of the two. And neither means not, we are denying that nobody, neither of the side. Right? So that way you need to understand, only frequent uses can help it to retain it, to memorize it for a long time. As much as you will practice, as much as you will understand the concept, right? Let's do one exercise. You can take either half. You can take either half. The few friends he has are reliable, right? He has a little money, some money. You spend much time, right? Uncountable. Will you please give me some milk? So some is there, right? Each side of the equilateral triangle, each side which can be counted, each we are using every citizen, means citizen is not countable, so that's why every is used here. Now what wrong today? Neither of you played well, right? So either's opposite is neither, so that's why it is talking about neither one played, right? Next, Ajay planted neem tree on either side of the road, both the side of the road, right? I need some eggs to make pancakes, but I don't find any in the fridge, right? There is little water in the bottle. Please fill it. So that's why little is used. Little means negligible. It means there is no water, and that's why they are asking, please fill it. So that's why little will be most appropriate here, right? So there is so much salt. Much is for uncountable. So that's why much salt is there. Many people witnessed the accident, right? So many people uncountable. So that's why many is used. A little hope. There is a little hope of recovery. Means very less, right? And next is the few suggestions he gave were all carried out, right? So the few suggestions, what were suggestion given? They all were carried out. They all were important, right? So this way here we did the exercise also. I hope the topic, people must understand the topic, and it's a good revision in one take. And if you couldn't understand it after listening once, just you can revise it, and later on also you can watch it along with your book, textbook. Then only it will help you out. Only listening will not help. Again and again I ask, just keep your pen and your rough copy with you, and try to pen down the important rules and then study. This much sincerity is very rare, but it can be, because nothing is impossible. I can leave now. Yes, beta Kushagra, you can not. Not only you, but everybody can leave. So I did not read you because I found that all the statements what suddenly I was looking at, it was all irrelevant. So I did not read any of the comments, right? I quickly, I need to cover up the topic as well. So that's why I have done my part. So very good night, everybody. And loads of love and blessings. Stay motivated and keep studying hard.